I have no comments to make.
On the International Space Station.
I have no comments.
Interstellar वाला check कर रहे हैं.
Okay, we are live.
Yeah, we are live.
Hello guys, I'm back.
You're back.
Whoa, did you miss me?
Did you?
I think everyone missed everyone on Friday.
So I was on leave. You
I
bunked.
I bunked.
And he also bunked.
I had a headache.
You're lying.
But anyways, so but good, yeah, good to get this going again. So yeah, standard. Say please put the likes quickly so that we can take the questions quickly. We enjoy it too. But our producers, they're a mean lot. They tell us no until there are 25 or 30 likes. You can't take questions. So
and they don't send us questions only. So even if we want to, we can't take it.
Please put in the questions. No, but I don't think we can disobey Rasagya or Mridul. If they have said 25 likes.
Yeah,
In fact, that was the reason I was sick on Friday. Because I was told to be sick. Mridul told me.
So,
Anyway.
market thoda niche hai. Yeah, this is, I mean, the obvious thing, and don't need anybody to say, but you know that it was obvious that between now and Thursday, keep positions light because you do not know how it will turn up. So, I met 2 or 3 very amazing market watchers. Okay. Let's put it that way. I won't say buy side or sell side over the weekend, 3-day weekend. So I made utilization of that. The crux that is coming out is that if India tariffs are here, let's say here, and US tariffs are here somewhere, the worst case outcome is if this goes here. An average case outcome if it happens this way. The best case outcome is that Donald Trump was to say.
कितना gap है तुम्हारे हाथों के बीच में?
The best case outcome is that Donald Trump says that
कि मैं इधर ही रहूँगा.
Because India is going to sign a deal with us. And people have made this observation that the one large country, powerful country, which is playing ball with the US right now is India. Right?
Active ball, I would say.
Active ball. Canada retaliating, EU retaliating, China on its own world. So India is actually doing what is the right thing to do, and therefore one hopes that that is the outcome, the best case outcome, that the US says that there is a deal in the offing, rightfully so, and therefore there is no point in going ahead and doing this tariff masti with India, and that's a really good outcome. If that were to happen though, should you sell at higher levels? Maybe. But if that were not to happen, and if there is a worst case outcome that there is tariffs, and then baki baad mein dekhenge, so that it's negative for the market. So I think some bit of that uncertainty being priced right now is my limited opinion.
I was reading, I think it was Bloomberg, where I was reading that White House spokesperson was telling off the record that the tariffs will first come on country level and then it will be followed up by sectoral level. So country level means we are charging US somewhere around 7.7%
weighted
average and they do a 2.8 or something. So
5% का difference
5% का difference है. वो 5% हमको just maximum करना पड़ेगा. उसमें 3 सेक्टर्स हैं जो मैक्सिमम हिट होंगे. आपके एग्री होंगे तो वो तो छोड़ दो कि एग्री में हम कुछ करते नहीं है और अगर वो इम्पोज भी करे तो कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. बट देन यू हैव द ऑटोज, यू हैव द फार्मर्स.
मार्केट्स को फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, देश को फर्क नहीं पड़ता है.
देश को फर्क नहीं
पड़ता है फिर
नहीं, बिकॉज वी आर एग्री, वी डोंट ओपन अप फॉर एनीवन.
हाँ, दैट्स द पॉइंट.
दैट इज द पॉइंट, राइट. मीन्स हमारा जो वेटेड एवरेज 7.7 है वो उसका जो अगर ब्रेकअप देखोगे 95% इज इंडस्ट्रियल एंड 5% इज ओनली एग्री.
हाँ, agree with, I think what Piyush Goyal and team have done also submitted is that boss, agree is a no go.
It's a no go.
We can't let the farmers get impacted.
Exactly. And that's the reason why they went out of RCEP also. Asian जो free trade agreement था, India did not sign in the last moment because they were not taking agriculture on board. India's concern. So that's going to be there as well. But on the industrial level, you have gems and jewelry, you have autos, you have pharma. These are the 3 main sectors which are there, which may be negative. अभी अगर country wide आता है तो negative आएगा थोड़ा बहुत उनके लिए. But वहाँ पर भी अभी जो reports आ रहे हैं वो ये है कि pharmaceuticals, pharma companies may have a hit, will take a hit, some bit of hit, and while they will pass on some bit of it. So, like Aurobindo and others. They were talking about the EBITDA hit could be around 5 to 10% on them. That's what they were talking about. So that is the worst case scenario which you're talking about.
Yeah.
The best case scenario is that between today and tomorrow, if we are going to say that we are going to bring down industrial tariffs for US goods in phases, as we go along with coincide with the bilateral trade agreement, then I don't think Trump will say, okay, I want to put anything immediately on you. We are working on it.
We are working on it. Yeah. Agree.
I mean, perhaps we are the only country which is actively negotiating with the US.
We are only large country.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
वो तो दिख ही रहा है.
So वो 40-45 बिलियन डॉलर का जो डेफिसिट है उसको ब्रिज करने के लिए ये टैरिफ से कोई होने वाला नहीं है. वी विल हैव टू बाय हार्डवेयर फ्रॉम देम व्हिच इज मिलिट्री हार्डवेयर, देन ओनली वुड ब्रिज होने वाला है. बट आई थिंक दैट्स गोइंग टू हैपन ओवर द नेक्स्ट few years.
Yeah.
And I think there's a case for it also.
There is a case for it because
we need enough from the US. It's
Yes.
just that we've not dealt with them as actively in the past because we've dealt better with Russia.
And France.
So so the reason being
And France, yes.
the reason why we haven't dealt is because after 1965 US stopped giving us arms.
Exactly.
And it's only in the 90s, early 90s that they opened it up.
The UN Security Council,
Yes.
Russia and France are the two biggest
Yeah.
Correct.
proponents for
Yes.
India. So nothing on that front. The only difference I have, so he summed it up very well.
हाँ.
Pharma में मुझे लगता है यार कि it's very difficult to just simply say कि अच्छा tariffs बढ़ गए हैं और अगर इंडिया ने भाव बढ़ा दिए hypothetically कि नहीं पूरा पास ऑन कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जाम्पल पूरा पास ऑन हो रहा है बिकॉज कॉस्ट बढ़ गया, चलो टैरिफ तो कॉस्ट बढ़ गया, गेट इट फ्रॉम समवेयर, इट्स नॉट सो ईजी. It's not so easy because
it takes 3-year process to get
validation,
substitution, everything. 3 साल तो बहुत ज़्यादा होता है. 3 साल के लिए मतलब you need to have a parallel supply chain that needs to be created, right? In that sense.
I think in general US is ill prepared for this. No, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but bigger thing, Niraj, Goldman Sachs talking about 1% growth in FY26 for US. And likelihood of a slowdown or a recession coming in next year. I think that's much more scarier, which is there, right?
But I have a different take on this also, by the way. But just one thing. So on the sectors, auto components and autos, but auto components predominantly badly hit.
Yes.
Textiles, gems and jewelry likely to be hit. Gems and jewelry listed space, hardly any impact, but whatever. And pharma, the third pocket. But there are either carve-outs or the fact that there are no alternate supply chains, so okay.
Correct.
Agri insulated, so we are fine. So I think that's the summation sectorally.
So auto is going to be the worst.
Auto components.
Auto
components.
And what about a Tata Motors?
Well, UK, US have a different exam. So I think it's a brilliant question because I think that will depend not on the treaty between India and US,
Correct.
but between India and UK, US and UK.
Which is what I was saying, that Tata Motors will likely get impacted regardless. The other one is
or not get impacted.
Or not get impacted at all, either way. But it won't be determined basis India. So maybe that's one thing you want to look out for. The other one, sir, is M&M. I'm not sure if either of you have a view on M&M because
tractors.
M&M tractors
Manufactured there.
Is it? Okay, perfect.
Manufactured
So
there,
you're sorted.
a large
Then
manufacturing.
you're sorted there. Then why is M&M have fallen so much in all of this?
थोड़ा exports भी होगा. अभी exact detail देखा नहीं है. In fact, we should tell Puneet to try and dig that out. But I think fair degree manufactured there too. The other piece is imports into India of EVs. If this happens, right, then M&M is the company which has gone out and said that we are only looking at EVs, no hybrid, no ICE. You are the one which gets impacted the most, assuming that you get impacted. I'm not saying it will. Maybe a Tesla or whatever comes in way expensive. But if BYD comes in and says, no, we want all of this, you're opening up, you can't open only Tesla, opening up everywhere else. M&M has competition, serious competition.
Have you done the test drive of the new cars?
No, we haven't. But I saw a couple of them on the road over the weekend.
Even I've
BYD?
seen.
No, M&M.
The BM.
XEV.
How is it looking?
I mean, it's snazzy looking for sure. It's bulky. So the big one is big. So
Okay.
Yeah, it is. It's not a small car. It's a proper
It
big.
looks amazing.
Figure. Yeah, it looks very nice.
Looks amazing. Good ground clearance.
Yeah, but
Most
just
important.
to
very good ground clearance.
Just to we were talking about auto component impact. US charges us 1% on auto components, and we are charging them around 7.5% on auto components. But if you look auto as a sector, the total weighted average is 28.1%. That is because हम cars में 100% चार्ज करते हैं, मोबाइल्स में 30% चार्ज करते हैं, तो weighted average में वो 28.1% हो जाता है.
देखो इंडियन मोटर बाइक्स को तो कुछ खतरा नहीं है.
कोई और कार्स को भी खतरा नहीं है.
कार्स को
मतलब कितने लोग खरीदेंगे यार? 1 लाख लोग खरीदेंगे, उससे ज़्यादा तो नहीं खरीदेंगे. तो उसमें भी खतरा नहीं है।
नहीं बट वो ये पॉलिसी
प्रॉब्लम ये है कि वो किस लेवल पे वो टैरिफ का बोलता है कि मैं पूरा ऑटो ऐसे सेक्टर में करता हूँ या ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स में करता हूँ। ऑटो कंपोनेंट्स में करूँगा तो 7.5% लगेगा, ऑटो ऐसे सेक्टर करेगा तो 28.1% हो जाएगा। तो वो बहुत ही स्टीप
सेक्टर सर, सेक्टर टेस्ला और हार्ली डेविडसन इंडिया में आएंगे
नहीं, वो तभी
आप
भी आ रहे हैं,
खरीदोगे,
अभी भी है इंडिया में
saying lower duty. But anyways, so that's the summation. No, but I was saying, are we looking, and viewers, this is very important, and then please put the likes so that we can take the questions. Are we looking for the first time that in the last maybe 40 to 45 years, are we looking at a forthcoming period jahan pe US will not have a bull market, but Europe, particularly Germany, China, India, and maybe Japan, do they have a strong market because the DXY is in a corrective phase? US economy slowing down, market slowing down, dollar strength slowing down. Usually the mother market coming off has impacted all markets. Will US sneezes, the world catches cold. That's the adage, right? Will this time be different?
Yeah, it could be different.
Trying to believe it will be.
Because the way he's pushing through the Russia deal, Russia-Ukraine deal, and he's trying to threaten Russia that I will put additional 25% tariff on you if you don't come for come on the table. And the second part being that that Europe will have to bear the burden of the security, and why should US do it? Because Ukraine is not give 50% of the rare earth to US. So, उस केस में the only thing left is that many of the European economies will go into higher fiscal deficit because of spending on defense. And it would be if the markets in US, European markets like DAX or a CAC or a FTSE are going to go up, it's going to be based on the defense companies going up, and so people would be long on defense companies in the US. Defense companies have already run up a lot in these markets. So yeah, when you say that it's going to be different, Europe will be driven by the defense companies. Like in the second half of 2024. Nasdaq was driven by the Magnificent seven companies.
यहाँ पे बोला होगा. Agree. So it should be interesting. Okay. Questions. We can take questions.
My 2 cents on this. I mean, I may not have the best visibility, but my 2 cents on this is you're banking on some of these economies in terms of domestic consumption firing, because it hasn't fired for a prolonged period of time. Japan hasn't grown in substantial fashion. Nor has Europe. Europe has been sluggish in terms of domestic growth. India has been one bright spot, but we've seen domestic growth slow down now. China is banking on domestic growth now. So if domestic growth in each of these economies were to fire, then you could well see what you are suggesting as a disparity play out. If not, you likely still continue to lean on the US for the purpose of consumption.
Not consumption. Germany is not going to grow because of consumption. Germany is growing because of capex.
Correct.
Out and out capex.
Correct.
So China wants consumption to grow. Whether that will happen or it will.
I'm talking domestic factors. Sorry.
Domestic factors.
Domestic factors.
Of course.
That's what I mean.
Of course. The global economy is anemic. It is not unanimous.
So 2025 will be a year of domestic based. Means either consumption or capex.
Correct.
Rallies.
But flows are global in nature. That's the point I'm making. DXY slowing off, but bring in flows. But okay. So, Devanshu is saying, hello team, missed you all on Friday, but love to see you all back after an extended weekend. Thank you, Devanshu. We love being here as well. Minal is wishing our team a happy new year to you as well. Everybody happy FY26. Sajeet, lubricants.
It's a very slow growing sector. Yeah, means players ही बहुत कम है. And I think Castrol is the one which we are talking about, which is a leader Gulf oil. But Castrol mein there is a corporate event pending, so that's something which is to be watched out for. So that's the only thing. Otherwise, 5 to 8% growth. यार means this.
How much EV contribution in each of these?
EV में कहाँ से आएगा यार? Lubricant कहाँ से?
कोई है ही नहीं.
I think they are doing something on the data center.
Data center. Who? Castrol?
Yeah,
No.
I think Castrol mentioned this in an interview. I'm not sure. You should try and see that interview that he did with Castrol. I think they're doing something around data centers or something now. I don't quite remember, but they're doing something additional beyond autos, which will help them gain growth. They're very, very optimistic management. Of
That's what
Castrol.
I actually meant to say. That with EV coming in, what's the new niche?
The
that
growth,
they're
the growth is going to be slower, right? In that sense, means EVs are going to take away the growth.
Yeah, but,
so ICE
but
engines,
therefore, what are the products that they are looking at with regard to serving?
I think we'll try and drop that interview, guys, if we can. Very nice. I think that gives a good summation of what could happen. But on Gulf Oil lubricants, I don't know if you guys have individual views. I don't.
no, individual I don't have, but sector-wise I know. That's the only thing.
So Shrikar Reddy, happy Gudi Padwa, guys. Thank
Same
you,
to you.
Shrikar, to you as well.
Why did banks fall?
Golden question, right?
Trump
why
tariff
did
तो आता
banks
नहीं
fall?
है इसमें.
Insulated by Trump, but so therefore.
But what over the weekend we had the banking data, some bit of banking data which came in, right?
Only the growth numbers.
Yeah.
So growth wasn't materially slower for February versus January. I think it was 11.8 for January, 11.7 for February. So materially not slowed down. But there is some bit of skepticism that growth in FY26 may continue to remain sluggish. And the other thing was, I believe there was a tweet by Uday Kotak as well on 27th of March, if I recall, where he said that if banks are offering 8%, 8.5% on FD and offering 8%, 8.5% on home loans, then where's the spread coming from, essentially? There's no spread left. How are they absorbing OPEX plus credit costs? And therefore, that risk remains open.
And many of the smaller banks are giving 7.5% for savings account.
Correct. So that was a very interesting tweet that I read, and I found that super duper interesting. And therefore, how do you bridge this mismatch to a certain extent? There is a fight in terms of competition to grow faster, and there is also a fight in terms of deposits. And therefore, whoever strikes that balance will likely be winners in this cycle. That's essentially what I think he was alluding to. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But I believe, so any view with regard to why banks are falling today, just in general, because this was something which even struck me. So
I don't think it's a
I think it's just a macro.
It's a macro.
It's a macro and a
HDFC's
market.
bank is leading the fall.
Yeah, 3% lower.
But
So I
HDFC
believe some bit of negativity starting to get built in terms of growth numbers for HDFC. May not be as good as maybe it's that. But we'll have to wait and watch. Yeah, absolutely no visibility on
It went up 2% in Feb, 5.5% in March.
5.5% in March. Yeah.
It's down 3% in April today. But yeah, so that's HDFC. I think there's some booking which is happening.
Is the quarterly update going to be bad?
Yeah.
That's what I just said. That
But
maybe
is it going to be
maybe
as
the market's building
open?
for. Sorry.
Is it going to be as disclosive? They will disclose everything in the quarterly update?
Yeah, likely. Yeah.
Likely?
I don't think asset quality is a challenge for.
After indexing,
what
they
you
don't want to take a
are
risk.
alluding to is asset quality. I don't think that's a challenge
Nahin?
for HDFC. Lag nahi raha hai. Q2, Q3 were good quarters. Both were clean quarters for them from asset quality perspective. Growth is the question. When does growth and margins make a bounce back? That's really the question.
Okay, give us likes. What else?
IT stocks, sir. Niraj, sir, IT stocks. Should you sell IT stocks?
21% down from December highs. Large cap IT. Now, if you're selling IT, and you could well sell IT because there is a bit of an uncertainty out there because you don't know the extent of slowdown that comes into the US as a result of all of these policies, and therefore the extent of slowdown in ordering activity that can happen. I remember a Morgan Stanley note last week which said that last week ka tha ya aaj subah ka tha, wherein they are saying that
आज सुबह का था.
that FY26 may well turn out to be a year very much like FY25 with ordering activity being fairly slow as well.
So I got you the data. TCS is down 13% since Jan 1st. LTI Mindtree is down 21%.
In fees down 19%, right?
19%.
And in fact, if you look from December peak, there would be even more, by the way.
December peak would be December 13 के आसपास,
का
right?
whatever जो भी है. But the point is,
For
अगर आपने
December
यहाँ
से
से निकाला,
नहीं.
so you need to have sectors in which you put in money as well, because never mind the market maybe at 23,500 or 23,300. This is not a market where you want to create large pools of cash. That time was 26,200. Now, put in money. So I think the question is that would you want to put money into hospital stocks? It's a sector with some serious visibility. Almost everybody is saying that the visibility is looking very strong. There's a Jeffries
Consensus.
note on Apollo hospitals as well when it was at 6,100 that look at the kind of numbers that these hospitals are going to show. And
What about hospitality as well? Hospitality भी ऐसे ना, hotels and all.
Hotels also, a lot of people by the way are now parking themselves into the smaller names. बड़े नाम में हो गई तेजी, अभी छोटे नामों में सेजवन ने फ्राइडे को प्रवेग में स्टेक लिया. I think Quant Mutual has bought into a lot of these mid-sized hotels as well. So bear that in mind. But hospitals is the question. I think there is serious visibility there. Valuation, you could always argue, but for now, it seems a more predictable bet. So
Yes.
my point is, आप valuations देखो, लेकिन valuations के पहले आप predictability of growth देखो. अगर growth predictable नहीं है, तो it's best to get out of that sector for the time being. Buy it 5% higher once the predictable growth comes back. जल्दी क्या है?
Okay, Ajit, Emmanuel, you guys mentioned infra as a sector with potential. Any views on Reliance Infra? No views on Reliance Infra. Are the problems over for the company? I don't think so, but no views.
He gave the view.
Next.
But infra as a whole, we are waiting for the orders to come in, and FY26 is going to be a year when you have that capex really running through, right? That's what we are betting for.
वो ठीक ठाक orders आए अभी भी,
हाँ,
right? पार मैक को इधर उधर आ गया.
रोड्स एंड हाईवेज में
Roads and highways, हाँ.
स्लो था, अभी आना शुरू हो रहा है उसमें. Then capex cycle of PSUs are going to come into play. States are going to put up some of them. So yeah, the infra is good. I had a question on tariff on IT and financial services. नहीं, I don't think there's going to be much. Services में कोई tariff अभी बात नहीं हो रही, तो
Oracle पे view है क्या आपके पास?
Oracle पे भी है, Oracle Financial Services में.
हाँ, मतलब very different company than some of the others. It's a product BFSI product company, much like Nucleus Software and Oracle Financial etc. तो थोड़ा अलग किस्म का IT company है. Interesting है. It's not a IT service company pure play, and therefore a difference out there. So don't club it like an Infi or a TCS or a Wipro. Much different. And ठीक है, valuation ठीक ठाक है. लोग
It's all about fun पूछ रहा है. I want to give you an exercise, नीरज जी आपके लिए. Where you think of any 5 fund managers in your mind,
Okay.
and I bet you won't have any female in it.
देखो, I think
राधिका
one can have a
गुप्ता है.
female.
वो
She's
वो
not a
fund
fund
manager
manager.
ना.
देवीना मारा हो सकती है.
Yeah.
But the point being, unfortunate part of our industry, there are not enough women in the financial services space, and especially in the fund management side.
है, but they're not at that level where we are saying that they are the CIO of a fund.
No, but relative spaces पे भी men outnumber women massively in the financial services business, fund management business, massively. Top level, tier 2, tier 3, unfortunately. वो है, मतलब आप कोई भी unfortunate है, but मैं बोल रहा हूँ.
पर अगर aside of that, अगर आपसे पूछे कि top 5 fund managers कौन होंगे आपके, without any sequence.
देखो, top.
Let's not put any sequence.
नहीं, मैं बोल रहा हूँ,
पर 5 नाम आपको जाते हैं.
Okay, so I'm not saying these are the 5 best fund managers. वो मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ.
Most successful, most. या top 10 में से 5 बता दो ऐसे.
Fund managers या money people who invest whether for themselves or others.
जो आप म्यूचुअल फंड में आपके पैसे इन्वेस्ट करते हैं.
म्यूचुअल फंड में कैसे? तो म्यूचुअल फंड में कैसे बात हुई?
नहीं, CIO की बात कर रहा हूँ. CIOs of the mutual fund, AMCs के. वो तुम
The late Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
नहीं, पर वो he was not of mutual
So what?
fund. Okay.
I'm saying the late Rakesh Jhunjhunwala.
हाँ, अभी उनकी जगह पे किसने लिया?
नेमिश भाई शाह,
हाँ,
गोविंद भाई पारिक,
हाँ,
श्री रमेश दमानी,
हाँ.
श्री उत्पल शेठ. आई एम प्लेइंग सेफ.
पर ये तो तुम्हारे टॉप इन्वेस्टर्स हो गए.
टॉप 5 मैं बोल रहा हूँ, द 5 which come to mind. हाँ.
फंड मैनेजर भी बताओ.
Fund managers, what?
Across AMCs बता दो.
I'm not. There are 5 really. So all the fund. So every fund house has a superb 1 or 2 very good fund managers. From a White Oak to a DSP to an ICICI approved to a HDFC, name it, and they all have Mire, very good fund. Almost all fund houses have a superb fund manager somewhere in their ranks. Now you figure out which of those fund managers you like, which fund he's managing or she's managing, which is something that you like and you want to invest there. But almost all fund houses have a superb fund manager. You may not like the CIO, you may like the second ranking fund manager, you may not like the second rank fund manager, you may like the CIO. Pick and choose.
आपके लिए हर्ष, he oblique his. Everyone is talking about the fact that markets are cheap, but there is nothing sub 70-80 PE. What should I do? Hersh, no banks, NBFCs, please.
Yeah, so he told me no banks and BSCs. So now the question is for y'all.
Question for you, Sajeet.
But when 70-80 times कहाँ मतलब बहुत सारी चीजें available है यार sub 70-80 times तो आजकल Zomato भी almost sub 70. Sajeet sir बताओ. But 1 year forward it's trading at sub 70 times.
Exactly, but I'm going to bet where I've said defense and consumption. Where was the area which
infra
and infra was ये 3 areas थे जो हमने bet किए थे. Remember हमने बोले थे 3 sectors बताओ. And I'm saying that defense has played out in March. Play कर गया वो. और HL जो है is going to be star. Means I expect another 65,000 crore order coming on the back of LCA Mark 1A order जो अभी तक उनको दिया नहीं गया आ जाएगा.
कब तक आएगा सर ये?
1-2 महीने में आ जाएगा वो.
अच्छा.
Because the management said very categorically at Aero India that they are getting 97 aircraft का order.
Nice.
And they said 157 for LCH उन्होंने मार्च एंड से पहले अनाउंस कर दिया.
Very nice.
So that 1.3 lakh जो उन्होंने बोला था उसमें से हाफ तो आ गया, बाकी का हाफ भी आ जाएगा उसके अंदर. So they will have a good order book. So last year we were crying that अरे HAL का order book बढ़ नहीं रहा है.
Order book बढ़ गया.
Order book बढ़ गया.
Now execution.
And execution. Now engines have also started. Just G के engines भी शुरू हो गए. तो वो भी शुरू हो गए. So you have much better revenue and profitability coming in. And I think one or two. I think UBS
UBS
right? UBS has upgraded the earnings also.
Target price also.
Target price also.
By the way, आज for example, just महंगे stocks की बात हो रही है इसलिए just mentioning this. Dixon was on the channel today.
Yes.
Dixon said that their margins in the next 2 years will move from 4% to 5%. And now lest we feel कि 4 से 5 में क्या है? That's a 25% uptick on operational metrics for Dixon at that size. Imagine what it does to EBITDA.
Plus the top line. Plus
2 साल में. हाँ, top line growth तो है ही है, but over and above the top line growth 2 साल में उनको लग रहा है कि उनके margins 4% जो हैं उसके almost sub 5 उसने बोला, sub 5 but nudging 5 हो जाएंगे. That's my derivative.
वो PLI के basis पे?
उसने बोला नॉन PLI भी है, but no, because if they get into components manufacturing, then that enhances their margins. Now this is important to watch out for. But any case, since we are talking about Zomato's and everybody else with his sub just about 70, by the way, Trent update today. Expensive stock up the most on the Nifty today because they have kicked it on the store count.
So 242, 240.
नहीं, total मिला के 1000 हो गया sir. So they have beaten estimates by a significant margin. If you want to know the exact number, मैं फटाफट बताता हूँ. Because
Avenue is also up. They've added stores as well. So lots of good updates on consumption.
Trend, Zudio is
store updates does not lead to.
Doesn't matter, but at least capacity built up हो गया ना. Zudio 735 stores. The expectation, and therefore they've added 545 था. They've added about 190 YTD, and Westside they've added 14 YTD. So massive upticks into numbers.
So means March में काफी additions हुए.
March में भी addition हो गया.
IndusInd is up.
IndusInd is up 5%.
5%. क्या हो रहा है?
Volatility.
March खत्म हो गया.
Volatility है, I think. Till this overhang doesn't go.
Yeah, you were talking about autos. Bajaj Auto is up today actually, % up.
यार
despite the fact this index is down.
Gudi Padwa weekend was superb for Bajaj Auto. Did you guys see those numbers?
I saw the numbers, but the weekend was good. But despite that, YOY numbers are down. March to March.
हाँ पर वो तो एक्सपेक्टेड भी था, वो तो एक्सपेक्टेड भी था सर।
मैं उसमें देख रहा हूँ, क्या नाम है, वाहन में देख रहा हूँ।
हाँ
पर सर वो एक्सपेक्टेड भी है, अभी भी एक्सपेक्टेड है।
हाँ.
YY numbers are
हाँ,
expected
so
to
there
be
is a spurt that happened and I think Puneet was telling me that normally गुड़ी पड़वा फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ अप्रैल में आता है, इस बार मार्च में आ गया है, तो मार्च में बंच अप हो गया नंबर्स, तो लास्ट वीक हो गया है, बट उसके बाद भी मंथ ईयर ऑन ईयर नंबर्स आर लिटिल लोअर, स्लाइटली लोअर, इट्स नॉट वाहन नंबर्स आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट, आई डोंट नो दस होलसेल नंबर्स अभी तक आए नहीं, वो 4th तक आते हैं ना, तो
ठीक है. अभी now should we wrap?
Yeah, we should wrap.
and is there anything
Hazel has a
there's
couple
a
of
lot
questions.
stuff.
yeah
There is
estate
QSR.
रियल
there is-
एस्टेट में क्या हो रहा है, वो ये पूछ रहा है, क्रेजी क्रक्स,
नहीं वो ऊपर गया ना, वो सर्कल रेट्स बॉम्बे में है, बट आई डोंट थिंक उससे कुछ ज्यादा
उससे कोई
पड़ता
फर्क नहीं पड़ता, 3 या 4% ऊपर गया
हाँ, वो
है,
कुछ-
बट there's 2 contrarian reports which are coming on real estate. One which is talking about slowdown in pre-sales numbers. This is the city report which we're talking about. The other one is Nomura, which is talking about decent growth in pre-sale numbers. Both are contrarian in that nature. So if they're on our website, why don't you go and see the story there, and you can have a look at what the thing. But the fear is that pre-sales growth जो पिछले 2 साल में हो रहा है, वो शायद स्लो डाउन हो जाएगा. That's the fear, and that's why the index is down 3%.
And we're going to do this as sector of the day as well on India Market Close.
Yeah.
So we are? Okay, perfect. Pratik Balani, thank you so much. You start your morning with NDTV Profit. Appreciate that a lot. But all the other questions, Hazel, you have a couple of very good questions. We'll probably be forced to take them tomorrow. Just telling you, Hazel, Innova CapTab is a domestic CDMO. So entirely India focused. It's technically not a pharma formulations manufacturer. It's a CDMO player. वो किसी कंपनी के लिए मतलब रेड्डीज या लुपिन इसके लिए दवाई बनाती है. So just keep that in mind. But we'll be forced to take all of this tomorrow because we have to wrap it up.
Yes.
Thank you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Please hit the bell button if you like what we're doing. Thank you. Subscribe.
Yes.
Surprise. Do you know which movie had that dialogue? Surprise.
Which movies did you watch over the weekend?
I watched a movie which was okay.
I watched Lucifer 2
नहीं, मैंने नहीं देखी.
and Sikandar.
मैंने देखी एक मूवी रॉथ ऑफ मैन.